Yo, welcome everyone. Bitcoin whales could right now be setting a major trap, and most are unfortunately not ready for what I am going to show you today. Now first, what you can see. Bitcoin has been chopping around the area of approximately 105,000 US dollars for the past couple days. Yes, we were able to see a very small bounce towards the upside, exactly into the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension price target that was also nicely aligning exactly with the recent highs for liquidity purposes. And in this specific video, I'm going to share with you the importance of the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension level and why, if we right now move lower towards our recent lows right here, you should really be ready, because people are going to be scared. However, we are going to know a major level is going to be hit on the Bitcoin chart itself, but more about the liquidation levels slightly later. If you have been following me on Twitter and also on YouTube for the past couple of days, you probably know that I have been waiting for my specific price target, the 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hourly time frame, for a very long time. And I even said yesterday right here, patiently waiting for Bitcoin to take the low. Let's see if we get it. You know how this game works. Liquidity first, direction later. Now, to be honest, I'm at the moment still holding some very nice long positions, not only on Bitcoin, also on Ethereum, on Ondo, and also on XRP. However, I also entered another brand new long position on XRP only a couple of days ago, because of course XRP hit a major area of support right here, and also I did enter another long position on SUI also because we hit a major liquidity level below the recent low, and at the moment we are simply trading at the anchored VWAP. So both of those altcoins hit a very important area of support. That is why I already entered another long position. However, on Bitcoin, I still want to see if we are going to be able to see another push towards downside, hitting our major support area right here before I am going to fire another trade. Now, of course, I am not saying we cannot pump right now already towards another all-time high, towards the area of approximately 112,000 US dollars. However, the main point I am making there is that if the level is not hit, the trade does not exist. Let the market commit to you before you commit to the market. XRP, for example, hit my level, that is why I entered another trade. Bitcoin, on the other hand, still at the moment hasn't hit my very important level. That is simply why the trade at the moment does not exist, even if we are right now going to be able to see a major push towards the upside. And let me right now do share with you, first of all, a bearish scenario and then also a bullish scenario in a case this first major area of resistance is going to be able to see a break towards the upside. Because the reality is, pay attention right now on the 3-day time frame, looking on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. Maybe you're going to be surprised, but it really does look like the biggest liquidations on Bitcoin on the 3-day time frame are not above the recent highs, but actually below the recent lows. We are going to liquidate millions of long positions from the entire crypto market if we do see right now another push towards upside. That being said, a rejection from the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension price target. This is then also going to mean if Bitcoin does see another push towards downside, we are most likely forming a 5-wave price structure towards the downside. So what does that mean? We can identify that this entire move down was the first impulse. We got a correction, another impulse, another correction right here. And if we are going to be able to see another push down, Bitcoin is probably forming the 5th Elliott wave, which, to be honest, it is going to be some kind of a bearish Bitcoin indication. And before we right now do talk about that, of course, thank you very much for smashing up the like button, because 1000 likes are definitely possible. And also, thank you for subscribing to the channel. So right now, the only important question is, Are we actually going to see another push down, or is Bitcoin already going to see another push toward the upside towards another all-time high? Because in a case we are going to start moving higher without the move down first, we can then simply say the 5-wave price structure is going to be invalidated, and we are not looking for the 5-wave price structure, but actually a 3-wave price structure. That being said, some kind of an ABC correction. In that case, if we are able to reclaim some very important areas of resistances right here, we are going to say we got an A wave right here, we got a B wave, and then also we got a C elite wave. And to be honest, this right here is my preferred scenario. That being said, Bitcoin in that case is simply going to move to another all-time high above 112,000 US dollars, because an ABC correction is a corrective move, which means higher probability we continue higher. However, what if we are not going to continue higher? What if Bitcoin is not forming an ABC correction right here? And what if, first of all, we are actually going to see a liquidity grab below the recent lows? That being said, Bitcoin in the next couple of hours is going to hit the 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hour time frame. In that case, you really should right now pay very close attention. You probably also remember the prediction I made only a couple of days ago talking about the development of the head and shoulders pattern. So what exactly had I had in mind? On the 4-hour time frame, we said if we are able to see a push towards the upside on Bitcoin, we could be looking for the left shoulder right here. This right here would be the head, and Bitcoin in that case would be forming some kind of a right shoulder. That being said, this right here was the top. This all-time high was probably the all-time high for some time, and then we are looking for a bigger retracement back towards downside on the Bitcoin chart itself. This right here, in my opinion, would definitely be quite a significant bearish Bitcoin indication in a case Bitcoin is right now going to be able to see another push towards downside. So in that case, we are paying attention to the price target of the 5th elite wave. And probably right now you're wondering, bro, what is your target of the 5th elite wave where we can be looking for another long or a buying position? Do not get me wrong, if we are going to go lower right here, yes, the entire prediction of Bitcoin is going to mean we are forming a bigger head and shoulders pattern. So eventually I am still looking for lower targets, but that does not mean I am not interested longing or buying the area of support. So in that case, we are simply going to say we need to pay attention to some very important Fibonacci extension, Fibonacci expansion price targets, and also towards some very important liquidity levels. And the most important level, as I already said before, is going to be a major liquidation cluster at approximately 103,000 US dollars if Bitcoin in the next couple of hours is going to go lower and take out the liquidity below the recent low. In that case, you should also then pay attention to the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension level. So what we are right now going to do, measuring this entire first move down with Fibonacci extension tool and putting the third pivot at the high we formed only a couple of hours ago. And as I said before, this specific level was the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension level, because in that case, it means this entire move towards the upside, the entire bounce was a corrective move. We got some kind of an A wave right here, B wave, and then a C wave, hitting the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension price target. And in that case also, we should be looking for Bitcoin to take the liquidity at least below this specific low, if not moving even lower towards a bigger 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension level at approximately 101,000 US dollars, because this specific level is really not a random level. We can also go with Fibonacci retracement tool from the swing low back towards the swing high, and in that case, we should really pay attention only towards 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, which it really does look like it is aligning very nicely with the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension level. And that is then also going to mean we are going to definitely hit the 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Yes, in that case, it is already going to be some kind of a deviation, but nevertheless, I would definitely say if we right now start moving lower, the first price target is the 200 exponential moving average on the 4-hour time frame, with the second price target being quite an important Fibonacci level at approximately approximately 101,000 US dollars. But once again, I am not saying we need to dump right now. In a case we are not going to dump, of course, I already longed some of the altcoins, some other cryptocurrencies, because altcoins, for example, hit my very important level. Bitcoin as of right now still hasn't hit such an important price target, that being said, such an important liquidity level below the recent lows. And that is why, if you right now want to trade with us and take an advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus without KYC and without VPN, click the second link down below in the description, because not only you're going to get a very nice bonus right here, but also only after you register you're going to get 10 USDT. Now unfortunately this bonus is capped to only 300 users, but also you're going to get VIP level 3, a 20% deposit bonus, but also because of such a high volatility right now in Bitcoin, we are hosting a 3000 USDT trading competition. So take advantage of all of those bonuses with the second link down below, but you actually do need to be slightly fast because the campaign is valid only for the next 7 days. Now let's also talk about what if Bitcoin is right now going to continue higher, we do not move lower below our recent lows, and our long positions are then going to be significantly in profit. Not only Bitcoin is then going to pump, I'm also looking for another pump on XRP, another pump on SUI, and of course also another pump on other cryptocurrencies. But nevertheless, let me right now share with you what are going to be our next very important resistances in a case the 5-wave price structure right here is not valid, Bitcoin is not going to go lower, and we only completed a bigger ABC correction right here. That being said, we are right now looking for another all-time high. So in that case, only two very important levels are right now important. And maybe right now you're wondering, what is the biggest area of resistance you should really be aware of? We are going to go on the weekly time frame to identify a brand new weekly high-term time frame area of resistance exactly at 109,000 US dollars. As you can see right here, the level is also nicely aligning with the daily level right here, and additionally Fibonacci retracement from the swing high right here back towards the swing low, applying only the gold Fibonacci ratio on the chart. Clearly you can see Bitcoin does have a massive resistance level at approximately 109,000 US dollars, also aligning with quite an important liquidity level right here. So I would say like that, the plan on Bitcoin stays very simple. I am not guessing right now if we go up or if we go down. I don't really care. The most important thing is that I identify the key levels, not only on Bitcoin, also for example on XRP and also on SUI. I know exactly when I am prepared to take a trade, and also I know that if I'm going to go with a long position on Bitcoin as of right now, my specific level I was targeting, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, was not hit. So in that case, I am going to force myself to enter another position, which in my opinion is really not a good idea. Let the market commit to you before you commit to the market, and that is why I haven't entered another long position on Bitcoin, but I did enter another long on XRP and also on SUI. So in a case right now we are going to go higher, this specific level is going to be the biggest level you should really be aware of on the Bitcoin chart itself. Now the second biggest important area of resistance you should also be aware of is simply going to be developed from the previous lows and the previous highs right here, because it really does look like, historically speaking, the area of approximately 106.7 thousand US dollars has been very nicely respected. And additionally, when we go from our swing high back towards the swing low, the golden Fibonacci ratio is landing exactly at this specific area. So the question right now only is Bitcoin going to be able to go and push higher above this specific area of resistance? In a case we are going to do so, the next level to target is simply going to be 109,000 US dollars. In a case we are going to see a rejection towards downside, once again, I'm only prepared to take another long position at this specific area of support right here, where a lot of people are going to get completely wrecked, completely liquidated. And additionally, my very important price target, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, it is going to be hit. So let's see right now what Bitcoin is going to do in the next couple of hours right here. Nevertheless, I am literally right now sharing with you my exact plan, what I am doing. Now, additionally, what is going to be my next move on XRP? Because as you probably know, I am holding right now another long position on XRP. I'm still in another long position on XRP from slightly lower at approximately 177 US dollars, but nevertheless, XRP hit a massive area of support at approximately 2.15 US dollars. That is why I am prepared to take another position on this one, but in a case Bitcoin does drop lower, simply the next target I would be aware of is going to be the value area low at approximately 2.03 US dollars, aligning very nicely also with the recent lows right here for liquidity purposes. However, because the first area of support right now has already been hit, I'm right now already prepared to deploy my capital into a position on XRP. So right now it pretty much comes down to what Bitcoin is going to do next. Once again, we are not guessing up or down. We have a very clear plan because we know exactly if the 5-wave price structure right here is going to be completed in the next couple of hours. Yes, I would then say a bounce towards the upside can happen, but as we said before, then we need to start paying attention for a bigger head and shoulders pattern being developed on the Bitcoin chart itself. In a case Bitcoin is right now already going to move higher above the areas of resistances, no, I do think the head and shoulders pattern is not valid, and I'm simply looking for another all-time high to be formed. Also because if you right now pay attention to the RSI indicator on the daily time frame, we are hitting the mid-level, which historically speaking has been very nicely respected. And also I did tweet about this exact price target being hit on the RSI indicator only a couple of days ago, where I said 50 level on the RSI is a very important level and it's a major support and resistance, and just pay attention right now to how nicely this specific area has been respected. Almost every single time we have gotten a very nice reaction on the Bitcoin chart itself, and that is why right now I am telling to you, those levels where we are right now are not the levels for us to be looking for sales, only a potential buy. And of course, let's right now see what Bitcoin is going to do next. Ideally, of course, we are going to form another all-time high simply because I'm right now holding not a single short position. I'm only at the moment holding some massive long positions on the entire crypto market. And that is why if you want to trade with us, take an advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus, no KYC, no VPN with the second link down below. And also only after you register, you're going to get 10 USDT completely for free and a 20% deposit bonus. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.